Hello, and welcome back to This Still Isn't Breath of the Wild.
3 years! It's been out for 3 years!
I mean, I have a game from, 2001 I still haven't played. It's still in the saran wrap from 7th grade.
I don't give a shit! It ain't Breath of the Wild!
No, but it is Star Ocean, and some people were equally mad about that.
I haven't even heard of that shit. I don't care.
Yeah, but you're not a weeb.
This is true, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, so, one of the reasons that we started to, you had to really put in the drama, but, oh yeah, this is me forgetting that I have to flip these over and also leaving my mouse in the middle of the fucking screen again!
Yeah! Not me! Woo!
Okay, well, let's see. Oh yeah. One of the reasons is that I've been hesitant to start it because they were like, hey, we wanted to kind of capture the original experience of the first Zelda game. And I'm like, okay, but I hate the first Zelda game. I hate that you're literally thrown in there with absolutely no idea what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. That's my least favorite thing.
I mean, to be fair, this one has a map that works. So
that's one of the reasons why I've been hesitant. Throw that on top of the fact that I have literally 3 or 4 hours of free time a day, and most of that ends up doing things that have physical deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that I have over 200 games and I've played 40% of them.
Right.
And yeah, that's the main reason. But now, on to my headcanon. Also, I like Swiftblade. The Swiftblade family, I'm going to call him. Because there's 4 other guys who are called something else, but they look basically identical. I like that he's basically just fucking mini anime Legolas here.
I mean, that seems like a pretty good goal to have.
Anyway, my headcanon. So, I'm aware there are the Guardians, right? Thingies, they got legs. So, my headcanon. Do you remember in Ocarina of Time, the, flying pineapple things in the field?
Yeah.
So, is Breath of the Wild at the beginning or the end of the timeline?
End, probably.
End.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't remember. So, my headcanon is that over millennia, those pineapple grew legs and lasers and became the Guardians. I don't care if there's evidence to debunk that. I'm rolling with it. Guardians are pineapples.
I mean, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Anyway, this part is mostly me being too stupid to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do next, and honestly, present me, or future me, whichever way you want to look at this, also doesn't remember what I'm supposed to do. So, I stayed here for a while, being like, alright, I know I need to get over there. I need Yeah, stupid fucking house is empty.
Why can't, Enzo just, helicopter, just flap his head around, helicopter blades, and then you can fly everywhere, and then we won't have to deal with this shit.
He doesn't need to do that. But I do, however, get the ability to jump over people in a parabola, and we all know only a witch can pull off a parabola of that nature.
I can't even derive the equation for it. What is this mysterious curve? Why is this called the parabola when it's just a weird U?
I know. It's just an upside down U.
I mean, it can be right side up. but who knows?
Not if you're jumping in a parabola, God.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess you could, how would you be in the air and there's like an upward facing U shape that's also parabolic? I thought of swinging from a rope, but that wouldn't be parabolic.
Yeah, no.
It would just be a semicircle.
Yes.
Huh.
This guy, he collects masks. Too bad he's in the wrong goddamn game. They got a whole game just for your masks. But no, you're over here. You're here in the fucking Thumblina game.
This is the Thumblina edition of Legend of Zelda, isn't it?
Yes. Anyway, you know how Zelda games like to have a thing where you have to come back to it several times after you power up? That's what this is.
Oh.
Down here. It is
Okay.
unfortunately not related to how I progress. Which is unfortunate, because I have not yet figured out what the hell is related. Anyway, that
That's why I
explodes.
just wander around. Enzo might say...
Yeah, he says things like, wow, the thing exploded again. That's fucking weird. This damn dog's in the way. Oh, hello. I want to buy no. Yes, no. I want to buy this wallet.
But only this wallet.
I have no more room for money, so I need a bigger wallet. Please let me behind you to the portal to the Minish world. Anyway,
You know, I'm not really sure how it is that Link needs a bigger fucking wallet. Yet, like, he can fit other shit that's bigger than money. I don't get that.
Alright, you said you haven't done Twilight Princess, right?
That's correct.
So, there is an item in Twilight Princess that kind of cracks me up. Because it's this huge-ass ball and chain.
Mm-hmm.
And what cracks me up about it is that it's exceptionally heavy, but only when you're using it.
Oh, right! Yes, I've heard of this!
Yeah.
How stupid this is!
So, like, you know, you put it away and he's totally fine. You pull it out, he's like, oh god, it's so fucking heavy.
I just realized it's heavy, therefore...
I have just remembered that this exists and therefore is heavy. Which, to be fair, the iron boots in Ocarina of Time are kind of similar, but it's not nearly as drastic of a difference.
Well, I mean, like, you know, that one kind of makes a little bit more sense, because, like, you can carry a pretty heavy backpack. Maybe you could even carry 2 heavy backpacks, but tie them to your legs. And see what happens.
Yeah, but, well, okay, yeah, fair. Whatever. This guy's gonna sell me a bottle, but I'm poor.
Okay, alright. I need the bottle to hold enough money to buy the bottle. Oh, how terrible of an existence I lead.
Alright, this isn't... I edited this kind of sporadically.
That's the first time I've actually looked at that enemy. Is that a wolf with a knife?
I thought it was a fox with a knife, but yeah, basically.
He's got a knife!
Yes, he does! He's also got some battle scars.
That is really weird. Okay, what were we saying about editing?
This one's edited very sporadically. Because on the one hand, I do a lot of editing to cut out things like kinstone fusing and me getting lost. But on the other hand, I don't do as many... Well, I guess I usually don't do many silly edits. But there's things where it's like, oh, I could have done that edit here, but I'm pretty sure I don't do that until later. Anyway, this guy just told me something I already fucking knew. That his friend would sell me something I need, which is this goddamn bottle.
How can you buy the bottle if you... Okay, I'm not making that joke.
And I actually had money this time. Anyway, now I cannot.
Okay, that...
There I go.
The beginning of that song actually reminded me of, like, the NFL theme song. That'd be kind of cool if it was in a Zelda game, right?
I'm gonna pretend I heard what you said there.
I was saying that the beginning of that song reminded me of, like, the NFL theme song. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Yeah, it is kind of. So, I have more bombs. I think I also bought those in the section I cut out. Oh boy, fairies. My favorites. Goodbye. I have but one bottle. And I need it to progress.
Shit, like, is this the Legend of Bottles or something? Like, why do you need these bottles so badly?
Have you played a Zelda game?
Well, I've never needed, like, more than one. Really. They've always just kind of been auxiliary.
You've really never played any of the ones where you actually, like, needed the bottle for one part of the game?
Well, no, not to progress. Not really. Like, I've had the bottle for fairies and potions, mostly. Like, it's not more...
Alright, do you remember, you probably don't, but in Ocarina of Time, when we did it, the ice section? Actually,
moderately?
Even before that, the ice section is the second part of the game that you need to have bottles for. The first part is getting into Jabu Jabu's belly. Because if you don't have a bottle, you can't get the fish that makes him eat you. But luckily, you have to grab the bottle to even start that part of the game. So, you know, you can't get stuck. But, yeah, no, there's a couple things that
I'm not really sure why you can't just, like, hold the fish in, like, a paper towel or something. Like,
I'm sorry, what year do you think this is?
A year where paper towels exist?
How
Clearly?
very vague. We may have talking hats and foxes with knives, but we don't have paper towels.
Seems legit. I don't even know when paper towels were invented.
I'm not even sure off the top of my head. I want to say like the 50s.
I'm gonna look that up.
Because that sounds about right for when they started going towards more disposable things. Because, you know, before that wouldn't have made much sense because, you know, the Depression and shit.
Right. 1931! Huh.
Well, sooner than I thought.
Okay. I mean, they might not have gotten off the ground until, you know, people were, you know, less worried about finding a job and more worried about how to dry their hands off quickly without having to wash a towel.
Oh my god, have you ever been to a public restroom that had a towel?
No, I haven't, and I thank God for that every day.
So, the restaurant we used to go to all the time with my grandpa, they had this ancient bathroom in the basement, and by ancient, I mean probably like 1980s.
Super ancient, yeah.
So, ancient for, you know, a 5-year-old in the 90s. Anyway, LoZ's like, haha, YOLO! Except for not saying YOLO. But he's like, I wonder if this is a good idea or a terrible one. Let's just jump into the whirlwind. YOLO.
I mean, it's probably a terrible one.
I mean, it worked for some reason.
I mean, anything that begins with YOLO is just a terrible idea.
Anyway, so instead of a paper towel dispenser, what they had was this funky thing with this long towel that was sewn into a loop, so it was like an infinity scarf.
Okay.
And you turn the crank to get to a dry-ish part of the towel.
Oh my god!
And that's it!
That is archaic as fuck! Oh my god!
Yes! Yes, it is! And I've
Why?
experienced that.
Jesus Christ! On a cracker?
Not that I really need to justify this to anyone who'd be watching YouTube, but this is what they mean when they say millennials had an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. Because we experienced shit that doesn't make sense to have still been around at the time that we experienced it.
Right,
This was
we were there!
1999 or 2001. I can't remember when they got rid of it, but now that place no longer has a bathroom at the bottom of a flight of stairs because, they had to be ADA compliant.
Right.
And they also have actual, hand dryer and paper towels now. But I have memories of that weird-ass towel dispenser turner thing.
And hey, we still remember when we had to use dial-up for shit.
Oh yeah, still remember we actually had a rotary phone, but we never used it. We kind of just had it for shits and giggles. For whatever reason. My earliest car memories definitely still had the roly window.
Right.
Let's see. Trying to think of something else that, thinking back, why did we still have that at the time? We skipped 8-track, as far as I know.
Yeah, I didn't really use it either. That was like the first thing I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Because we still had cassettes. We had loads of cassettes and CDs. We skipped 8-track. We have records, too. We didn't have a record... Actually, I think we did. We had this silly 90s record player. I can guess that it was 90s because it was that weird plastic beige that, everything in the 90s was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. We didn't like that color a lot for some reason.
Yeah, no, literally, every electronic was, beige.
I don't get it.
And then they switched to gray, and we're still kind of on that, but now it's a shiny gray or a black.
Apple has, space gray, and no.
Yeah.
No, it's just gray.
We definitely grew up in the era of animatronic weird birthday bands, though. I don't know how many of those you experienced.
Mainly just the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, see, we skipped the Chuck E. Cheese. We were
Really?
like, Chuck E. Cheese is for losers. Enchanted Castle is where it's at.
I went there once.
Well, we lived by it, so it kind of made sense.
Weird.
And for people who do not live within... I'm pretty sure there's literally 2 Enchanted Castles in the country, and they're both in Illinois. It was kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese with a fantasy medieval theme. So, there was a dragon playing piano, and... No, I think the princess played piano. The dragon might have been the singer. I don't fully remember, but that was the theming. Wizards and castles.
Right.
And then they added go-karts and laser tags because the early 2000s. And 40 theaters. Do you remember 40 theaters?
Oh yeah, those sucked!
Yeah!
Why? Why did we ever do that?
I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time until you're being whipped by, like, a cut-off wire in the back of your legs.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went there recently because we had a staff meeting there as, like, an end-of-year party. And we work with kids, so I guess that's why we did it there. I died.
I thought you were just gonna end the part there.
Anyway, I was like, alright, I'm gonna go through and see how much they changed. Like, they moved the indoor play place thing, and they updated that. I know the part's over, but I'm gonna finish my thought here. The go-karts, I didn't actually go to the other part of the building with the go-karts and the laser tag, but they definitely got rid of the 40 theater.
Thank God.
And they also got rid of the mini golf. And the bumper cars.
Wait, what?
Yes, and
But
the mini golf, where the mini golf used to be, they had a tiny go-kart track. And I did not go to look to see if they still had the dragon coaster in the other side. But
okay.
they made some strange... I'm sure there's a reason, probably because the bumper cars weren't updated since, like, 1997.
Yeah, but that keeps it, like, exciting. Like, you don't know if it's just going to electrocute you.
And then the mini golf is actually surprising because the other ones in the train, which, again, for the people outside of the state, are Adventure Trails, which is pirate themed, and Haunted Trails, which is spooky themed. Still. Okay, it's letting me pick back up. Sorry. That's fine.
Mini golf.
Okay, let me just finish my thought. They still have their mini golf courses, which are weird and filled with dirty water, with tires and golf clubs and shit just thrown in the water hazards. So I'm wondering if they got rid of theirs because their little water hazard had, like, children swimming in it. I don't fucking know. But anyway, tune in next time where hopefully I won't stop recording in the middle of a sentence.